Hey, that's pretty good. Alright, what's up everyone, I'm Loki, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the recent offensive coordinator signing for the Seattle Seahawks, Shane Waldron. This signing of Shane Waldron for the offensive coordinator spot is definitely an interesting one, but really, I don't know why we got rid of Brian Schottenheimer. At the end of the day, our offense definitely got figured out in the second half of the season. We were running the ball a bit more, and then we were doing a play action deep pass basically every single time we had the ball on offense. And, that's something that obviously isn't going to work, and it didn't work in the second half of the season. Teams figured us out, but Brian Schottenheimer had said multiple times that he wanted to revamp the offense going into the next season. He wanted to become more dynamic, but Pete Carroll said he wanted to run the ball, and he got rid of Brian Schottenheimer. Now, this signing of Shane Waldron, I think this will bring the dynamic game of the Los Angeles Rams, the run game and the passing game, to the Seahawks. I think we won't completely steal their scheme and steal basically how they run their offense, but I think we'll definitely take parts, and I think we'll take good parts of their offense. But hopefully this doesn't mean that we're just going to be running the ball, and then trying to pass on third down, because I don't think that's going to work no matter how dynamic you are. Shane Waldron, of course, was a part of the Los Angeles Rams, a division rival, so they were going to be taking away from them. He was their passing game coordinator. Now he's going to be coming in to be the Seahawks offensive coordinator. Hopefully he'll bring the good parts of the passing game without the parts that Jared Goff messed up. Hopefully he can bring in the run game, and I think that that's going to be something that happens, especially with the signing of Andy Dickerson as well. He's going to be the run game coordinator for the Seahawks, and he was previously the offensive line coach, I believe, for the Rams. So, both of those guys, they know the Rams offense. They're probably going to bring in some dynamic blocking where they like to pull some guards, and how the Rams basically played, where they had some dynamic runs, they had some rollouts that were actually designed for Jared Goff. And I think Russell Wilson is a much more capable quarterback than Jared Goff, who was recently traded. So, I think if we can basically take the good parts of the Rams offense and throw it into the Seahawks offense that has worked somewhat, I think we can definitely be a great team with how many great players that we have. This signing for the Seahawks, in my opinion, is a really good one. It's taking away from the Rams, who are divisional rivals, and it's bringing in some dynamic options to the Seahawks. Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron is going to be able to put in some dynamic plays, get Russell Wilson moving out of the pocket, hopefully on passing plays. Andy Dickerson, he's going to know how to do the run game that the Rams had. I think that we have good enough running backs. If we can bring back Chris Carson, that's something that we got to do, or we got to bring someone in who's as talented or more talented than Chris Carson, because you need some good running backs if you're going to want to run how the Rams did. And I think that we can definitely have some very dynamic, very good play calling from the offensive side with these two guys. But it really depends on Pete Carroll. If he wants to run the ball on first and second down and then still continue to do those deep passes on third down, it doesn't matter how dynamic the play calling is, it's not going to work consistently. We have to be able to run plays that teams don't expect. First down, maybe we run a play action and we do something crazy like a boot, which we did like 2 whole times in the 2020-2021 season. I really just want to see, Russell Wilson utilized to the fullest that he can be, because he is an amazing quarterback. He is an amazing talent. He has amazing receivers, amazing tight ends, really good running backs, and a horrible offensive line around him. It'll be interesting to see how that offensive line will do next season if we add some pieces, or even if we don't, to see how that will do with probably a more dynamic and more confusing blocking scheme for the offensive line. This will definitely be a year that'll be interesting next season, but we got a long ways to go, but it all really depends on Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll has stated numerous times that he wants to run the ball, and he wants to run the ball well, but Russell Wilson has also said that he wants to be a more dynamic, up-tempo, and, use the tempo, whether that's slowing it down or speeding it up. He wants to do that, and Russell Wilson seemed to be very excited about this signing, so I'm definitely happy with this signing. If Russell Wilson's happy with it, that can only mean good things, really. And this is definitely someone that isn't going to come in, run the ball over and over and over and over again. I think this is definitely a good signing that will make us a more dynamic offense, which I think every single Seahawks fan wants to see, seeing as though we got easily predicted and easily figured out by other teams when it came to the second half of the season and going into the playoffs. This is definitely a good signing, but Pete Carroll, he better be willing to allow Russell Wilson to cook once again, but in a more dynamic offense. Hopefully we can bring back Chris Carson. I think he would do great in a kind of running scheme that the Rams had, somewhat close to that. But, we have great talent on the offensive side. I think we are more talented at each key position other than offensive line than the Rams are. I think Russell Wilson is better than Jared Goff, compared to last year, because Jared Goff's not on the Rams anymore. I think Chris Carson is, at least equal to the Rams running backs. I think our wide receivers are better. I think our tight ends are better than the Rams, or at least we're deeper at tight end. Our offensive line is no doubt worse than the Rams offensive line, but still, I think with these pieces, I think if we even come close to replicating what the Rams somewhat did last season and the seasons before, it'll definitely be a great thing with Russell Wilson and all the dynamic pieces we have on offense. But overall, this is just a really solid signing. We're taking away from the Rams, and we're taking a pretty good guy away from the Rams. Sean McVay had said a lot of great things about Shane Waldron, and I think we're going to be getting a good guy that can bring a dynamic offense to the Seahawks, and that's really all you really want, seeing as though our offense has been pretty basic, pretty predictable over the past few years, especially with such a great quarterback in Russell Wilson and some great wide receivers. When Doug Baldwin was there, he was doing great. Tyler Lockett's been absolutely amazing. DK Metcalf is a great wide receiver. He's just going to continue to get better. Great running backs, great tight ends. I think that we can definitely do well next season if our offensive line can hold up. It's going to be, once again, be a year where the offensive line needs to hold up and our offense can do great things. And I think this year will be more dynamic going into next season. But let me know down below in the comments what you think about that. This is definitely an interesting signing. It'll definitely be interesting to see what happens next season for the Seahawks offense, but we still got a long way to go. There's a lot of things that can happen in this offseason. The Super Bowl hasn't even been played yet, so let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this signing. I think it's great. I think it makes us more dynamic on offense. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a great day.